Hi, everybody. Janet Eichhorst here. Welcome to episode 17 of this podcast series. What are we going to talk about today? I just had a couple great metaphors I just experienced. And so the topic is clarity. And I was just spending some time cleaning my glasses, and it seemed like an exorbitant amount of time to clean my glasses. And that is a really great metaphor for what's happening right now in terms of staying clear and taking the time that we need, whatever that is, doing whatever we need to do for us to stay clear and be in the presence of who we truly are, our true selves. The other metaphor was, as I was getting ready to record here, I was hearing a lot of noise around here. Like, not necessarily bad noise, kids playing, maybe a little screaming. There's some construction noise. My neighbors are making a little bit of noise right now. And that also is a metaphor. There's a lot of static in the field. And you could take that word static and it could mean a lot of different things. It could mean other people. It could mean a lot of the frequencies that are being broadcast that are intended to affect us in one way, shape, or form. It could be so many different things. And so I wanted to talk about that first. Like, what is happening right now and why it may require more of our effort or a different type of effort to maintain our clarity and our pillars of light of who we are. It's kind of a funny way of saying it, but it's presence. It's you, how you can be here now, right? All these fun expressions that we've said for a long time. I and you and all of us have a much better time on this planet when we are heart aligned, our divine heart, our divine mind, and our divine body are aligned, and we can operate and access that true essence of who we are that's always here. It's just that static, that gunk in our lenses that prevent that level of clarity that can prevent us from moving freely. So right now, this is a dynamic that's so here. We are able to, looks like my taxes are done. We are able to jump timelines, change realities, shift very quickly, quantumly, timelessly, right? That's what that means. That in one moment we can be here, and in the next moment, very simply, we can be here. And this, there's a dynamic in this where if you're more forgetful than normal, that's what this looks like sometimes, because it's our sensory experience and how we're working with our bodies and how our minds and our neurological systems are experiencing inputs that sometimes when we move from one place to another very quickly and instantaneously, really, it's a little bit unsettling, right? And it's harder to find our bearings. And sometimes it takes our mind a bit to catch up. Not always. And I think that the more freedom that we give ourselves to just keep acknowledging that we are here to be our true selves, whatever that means for you. When I say those words, what does that mean for you? For me, that's like my light is on, my heart is open. I have this force field of light around me that provides a level of divine safety. That's what that means to me, right? What does it mean for you? You can take what I just said, change it, shift it, use different words. But what is your true self? What is your true expression? We are all meant to radiate and be our unique form of unconditional love. That's how we are designed in this human form. So claim that for yourself. Let's just all take a breath together here. And you can do the one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly because we want to keep things physicalized. That's why we focus on the belly, right? We don't, I spent a lot of time in the clouds, dimensional realities, different vibrations, high vibrations. That's fantastic. And I want that to be here so that my physical body actually vibrates at these beautiful frequencies. Pure, strong, circulating very easily and simply throughout my physical body and my energetic fields, my meridians. So imagine what that's like. Of all your energy fields within your physical body, that means all the systems within your organs, your muscles, your fascia, your circulatory system, all working in harmony with pure flow, that pure life force of you moving through you as you. That allows a natural form of clarity, right? That's us being us. So back to this idea and this experience that I see happening now is that these timeline shifts, right? Like things are going, oh, I'm here. Oh, I'm operating in the old reality. That's not where I want to be. I want to be here. Shift can be so quick, right? So that's happening. And also, wow, when we talk about our parts and pieces and what at a core level has kept us from being our true essence, wow, that's up right now. And so that means for me and for those people I'm working with and what I'm witnessing in the collective is that all of those parts of ourselves that have been compartmentalized for any reason, beliefs, traumas, wow, there's all kinds of ways, conditioning, what we're taught, what was demonstrated to us in our family of origin and in our formative years, we take as normal, and we perpetuate that until we don't. And a lot of that is not allowing. There's shutdown mechanisms. There's ways that we have compartmentalized. And that doesn't allow us to be who we really are. All right. And it's not as much fun being on this planet when we're, hampered, when we're not operating at full strength. So allowing ourselves, being gentle with ourselves, and taking these parts of ourselves that we have compartmentalized for whatever reason and allowing that to integrate. I want that innocence, that vulnerability, that childlike playfulness to be here with me as a functioning adult. That's what I want. And the opportunity now, what's happening right now, is profound and allows that to happen quickly. Efficiency, revelations, realizations. Breathe, claim yourself. Just say no to any influences that have nothing to do with your personal path and how you want to operate and what you want to create here and what you want to experience, right? That's also part of this. Oh, there's a belief underneath there. I know I've talked about this in previous podcasts, and this is all part of that unwind process. So we can drop the separations, the compartmentalizations that has happened. And this is from our childhood. This is through past incarnations. This is from our multidimensional levels. We all have abilities that we are would have a much better time because if we access these multidimensional capacities, you have them. I know even when I was in the depth of some of my, trying to hit bottoms on certain behaviors, I was still using some of my superpowers, right? I would know stuff that nobody else would know, and I would just know it. No background about it. I would just know. You have the equivalent of that for yourself. So the ability with these shifting realities, timelines that are happening quickly all the time, and then this integration of these parts of ourselves that we haven't had access to, this is all happening at the same time. And it's so cool. And it can also get us off of our center. Now, what we don't want to do, and I don't want any of you guys, is to spiral down the rabbit hole, right? We want to stay in that sweet spot where we can recognize in whatever way is helpful for us personally what's actually happening and to stay out of the judgment game. Okay, so right now we're going to do a little process here. Woo, there's a lot of energy moving here. Find your center. Be your center. You might see your central column of light runs up and down your spine. All these different pillars of light, channels. Allow those to be fully on, whatever that means for you, in a way that you are honored and respected. And literally just check out your vertical alignment. There's so much been happening in our spine, so much for quite a while now, and it continues to upgrade and shift as we do. So you could see it. Imagine a giant elevator column, right? And there's a whole series of floors that's blocked off that you can't see are there. So drop the veils and allow your vision to be clear. Whatever's in the way, you can imagine windshield wipers just going, wipe it away, dissolve it with your magic wand. Whatever is in the way of you really having access to more of your true essence. Because those are a lot of moving pieces happening at one time. But check this out. When I find a part of myself that's not integrated, right? And that could be, say it's a childhood trauma, right? There might be some emotions there. Holy cow. All right. And I might find it because I might be avoiding something, right? That's one way it can look. There's many different ways, but let's just go down this example. So I notice I'm avoiding. I stay out of judgment. It's just first being aware of it and noticing it. And then saying, hang on a second. I've got infinite power here, infinite unconditional love, where I can be present to whatever this is now. So I can see, feel, hear, know, sense. Be present to whatever is that I am avoiding. And in that same instant, if there's a version of me that's operating beliefs or doesn't have the vibration that's high enough, I'll say, I can shift that at the same time to make this simple, easy, kind, and so loving towards myself. And many times it's just as if I need a big hug. Many of the little mini processes I've had lately is a level of recognition of how effed up it's been, about how difficult it's been for me. And that's true. It was difficult enough that I created some mechanism to compartmentalize it so that I wouldn't implode or explode. I created those programs, those separation patterns out of survival, out of necessity in that moment. I created them and I can uncreate them. Simply and easily now. Get out your version of your magic wand, vibration increase. And again, I've tracked this down to beliefs. Something underneath there that I thought was true that isn't. And when I find that and resolve that, it dissolves the foundation of that whole emotional pattern. This is one way that we are way more powerful than we know. And so as we're here in this container, being together, allow yourself to shift instantaneously. Timeline jump. Shift your reality. Change your beliefs. Release those beliefs that aren't true. Any judgment you have of yourself, any belief that you are not worthy, any fears that you have. Shift those now. Okay? So this is all about being clear about what's operating, finding a way to navigate it, to work with it, to be present to it, so that I can be as functional as I want to be. And this is in a now way. When this conditioning is operating, we end up being in a system or acting as if the past is here now. Now, I know we all know this, right? But let this sink in and let what you know about this, about living through the past filters, let those be present, let them be revealed, and let them dissolve as simply and easily as possible with all the love that is. This is how we resolve those separations. This is how we resolve those beliefs. This is how we resolve those compartmentalizations. This is how we integrate all those versions of our inner child. Whew, so beautiful. So take a few breaths here and allow that to happen for you. You have the power to do that for you right now. If there's an aspect of you hiding in a corner for whatever reason, be present to that part with such love that any lower vibrational patterns can simply melt. In the perfect time-space sequence, sometimes those parts of us that are so wounded, it takes us some time to invite them into the now. But we offer that love to ourselves in that way, those parts that are wounded, and invite them to come home. I know I have held a place for those aspects of myself in my sacred heart forever. And I've literally always been whole. but it's those compartmentalizations that I created to keep them separate. So that's what coming home really means, is allowing those walls to dissolve. Wow, I can't believe we're at 20 minutes already. I wish you and hold space for the highest level of clarity, integration, discernment for all of us. Much love and many blessings to you. Please like, please share, please comment. Till next time.